Hello and welcome to Football Spy on Friday, July the 31st with me, Dan Silver. The summer transfer window slams shut a month today and the new football season officially begins a week tomorrow, which means, in the immortal words of Sir Alex Ferguson, it's now squeaky bum time for managers looking to finalise their squads. And Liverpool boss Rafa Benitez's bum is likely to be squeaking just a little bit louder this morning after midfield linchpin Xabi Alonso finally handed in a transfer request yesterday in a bid to seal his long-running move to Real Madrid. The Reds have already turned down a bid of £24 million and are now holding out for £30 million before letting the Spaniard go. Now, it can't be overestimated how much of a blow Alonso's departure would be for Liverpool. Striker Fernando Torres has already gone on record as saying it would be a serious loss. Now, according to today's Guardian, Liverpool are lining up Wigan's Lee Cattermole and Roma's Alberto Aquilani as possible replacements, but the onus will now be on Javier Mascherano to live up to his world-class billing next season. Rafa's not having much luck in the buying market either. The Sun are reporting Hull have turned down his £6 million bid for Michael Turner and claim Phil Brown has put a whopping and highly unrealistic £12 million price on the defender's head. Now, that's a hell of an expensive Turner prize by anyone's standards. Talking of paying vastly over the odds, Manchester City will return to Everton for a third time with an improved £22 million bid for Joleon Lescott. Everton are holding out for a fee closer to £30 million, but with the almost limitless funds at Mark Hughes' disposal, it's almost certain the sometime England defender will sign up for the Eastlands project, which incidentally is like Cornwall's Eden project, only with even more hot air. Not content with trying to sign all of the Premier League's established stars, Mark Hughes is now attempting to snap up its future ones too. Today's Daily Mirror reports that Manchester City will make a £10 million move for highly rated Leeds starlet Fabian Delph. Cash-strapped Leeds have all but resigned themselves to selling their most prized asset, but want him back on loan for the season to help them escape League One. City are understood not to be keen on the idea, preferring instead to put him straight into the first team, presumably slotting him in somewhere in the 1-0-5-5 formation Mark Hughes will be forced to play next season. Maybe Man City could loan Leeds Benjani instead, or Bellamy, or Martin Petrov, or Ched Evans, or Santa Cruz, or any of the other forwards they've got cluttering around the place. Now, anyone worried for the sanity of Arsene Wenger in the wake of this week's Patrick Vieira reports will be heartened by the story in today's Daily Mail linking him with a move for St Etienne's £5 million midfielder Blaise Matuidi. The 22-year-old is young French, a product of the famous Clairefontaine finishing school and relatively unknown. Pretty much the perfect Arsene Wenger signing then. Welcome back, Arsene. We thought we'd lost you for a moment there. Now for today's quick hits. Stoke boss Tony Pulis is pressing on with his attempt to sign Dean Ashton from West Ham, a move which will make the Stoke physio happy if nobody else. The Hammers will sanction a deal provided they can get two strikers of their own in first. Bayern Munich's Luca Toni and Barcelona's Eidur Gudjohnsen are the preferred options. Now, talking of knackered and over-the-hill strikers, Mark Viduka is set to sign a one-year deal for Portsmouth, according to today's Sun. Sorry, Pompey fans, but the way things are looking right now, your team looks like a nailed-on relegation certainty. And the Sun is reporting a new twist in the Franck Ribéry transfer saga. With Real Madrid now out of the equation, it appears Manchester United could pounce, despite Fergie claiming some weeks ago his summer spending was over. It must be that squeaky bum again. Now, the key date here is apparently August the 14th, on which Franck Ribéry apparently gets a loyalty bonus, although quite how someone who has been angling for a move for the past 2 years qualifies for such a thing is frankly beyond me. Still, a £35 million Man United bid could be in the offing, although I'll believe it when I see it. And finally, to the brouhaha brewing over at Spurs, where Darren Bent has apparently used his Twitter account to launch a scathing foul-mouthed attack on Spurs chairman Daniel Levy over his protracted transfer from the club. If it's genuine, and frankly that's an if bigger than Manchester City's wage bill, then I think Darren should be applauded for embracing modern technology in this way. Hopefully he'll also log on to our brand new website mirrorfootball.co.uk that launches a week today, and there'll be plenty more details of that coming up next week. And talking of which, we're still looking for a handful of fan bloggers to write for it on the new season. So if you're a fan of Stoke, Barnsley, Bristol City, Doncaster, Ipswich, Peterborough or Plymouth and fancy writing about your team next season, drop me a line at dan.silver@mirror.co.uk. Or perhaps use my Twitter account, dansilvermirror. I can't promise to be as entertaining as Darren Bent, but there will almost certainly be as much swearing. That's all for today. Darren Lewis will be back on Monday, and as ever, you can keep up with all the latest transfer news, rumours and gossip throughout the day at mirror.co.uk/sport.